Zdraví vás málo tady u dalšího pokračování Hogwarts Legacy. V dnešním díle nepojedeme hlavní dějovou linku. Nebo ty si dáme na chviličku pauzičku, protože v podstatě máme najít místo druhé zkoušky. A druhou zkoušku ještě vyloženě úplně dělat nechci. Ne, že bychom na ní neměli level. Potřebujeme 18, my jsme nějaká 23, myslím. Je to tak? Ale my se tentokrát zaměříme na vedlejší úkoly. Tady přímo v Prasinkách máme minimálně 5, 6, koukám. A to jsou jenom prasinky. Když dáme mapu světa, tak nám prostě nějaký svítí tady 2. Pak jsou, myslím, tady 2. A něco někde možná ještě tady dole jsou taky 2, přesně. A v Bradavicích jich taky pár máme, takže je toho dost. Věnoval bych se teďka zase třeba víc těm vedlejším úkolům, protože kolikrát jsou velmi pěkně udělaný. To je zpět na cestu, ale já bych si teďka zadal tenhle ten questík. Já nevím, máme tady na výběr v podstatě 3. Tak zajdeme tady za hospodskou, či hospodským.
Hello, Sirona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Musím se vydat do Horního Hogsfieldu a promluvit si s Dorothy Spotleyovou o její potřebě černovřesu a zeptat se jí na Sironinu krabici s dopisy. Věřím, že ji najdu ve vesničce severně od Prasinek. Jo, mapa světa. A my už jsme v téhle vesničce byli, takže já se tam rovnou portnu. Ušetří nám to nějaký čáseček.
Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
Bardo Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
To je ona.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aiden used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
I can certainly try and find some for you.
That would be wonderful. I'm worried about the travelling vendors and would love to get the more Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aiden died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aiden took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Horklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those Horklumps. I and the vendors I help would greatly appreciate it.
Najdi vstup do jeskyně. Potřebuji najít... No tak, šup, koště. Potřebuji najít vchod do jeskyně, o kterém se paní Spottleyová zmínila. Vypadá to, že by mohla být v kopcích jihozápadně od Hogsfieldu.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
Revelio.
Revelio. Pozbíráme tady nějaký dobrůdky.
Let's have a look around, see if I can find that box of letters.
Incendio.
That's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased.
Tady to bude zavánět pavoukama, řekl bych. Ale kdo ví?
Revelio.
Pár pejrů. No co je vlastně tady dole, když bych spadl? Rovnou arénka a hromada krve, jo.
I believe you are ready to learn
Accio.
the slowing charm. It allows you to freeze objects or people in mid-air. Simply complete a few tasks and then come and see me.
Arresto momentum.
Revelio.
No, nevím, jestli se mi to tady dole líbí. Ale... Sebral jsem nějaký kulatý obrazy a tím to hasne asi. Vlastně nemusíte jakoby podlízat nějaký takovýhle úzký chodbičky, podchody tím, že se jenom skrčíte a jdete hrozně pomalu. Když prostě podržíte u tohoto CTRL...
Either I'll have to fight that troll, or hold it all together.
Protego. Stupid one. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Incendio.
That was a close one.
Tak, nějaký trolí soplíky.
Revelio.
Lístky třemdavy. Dobrá, dobrá. A jak odtud? Už vidím.
Defendo. Expelliarmus. Confringo.
Confringo řeší všecko. A dveře? Hele, prej taky.
Revelio.
Člověk ani neví kam dřív, aby to tady prozkoumal. Máme nahoře zůstaly nějaký truhlice, no, ale... Co já s tím, no? Prostě jednoduše půjdeme dál, no. Milá Sirono, vyčaroval jsem pro tebe malý dárek jako projev mého vděku, kdyby ses mě minulý týden během tréninku fanfrpálu nezastala, možná bych s tím úplně odešla. Teď jsme vyhráli pohár s pozdravem Sean. Já to jenom posunu, vy si to můžete počíst. Tak.
This must be Sirona's box of letters. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have...
Sirona bude určitě moc ráda.
I should find Mrs. Sprottle. She'll be glad to get these hawk lumps.
Nebudu to prohledávat ty jeskyně úplně dopodrobna.
I should investigate.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. I have good news. I was able to harvest some hawk lumps for you, and I found Sirona's box of letters.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion. And Sirona will be delighted to have those letters. How kind of you. Now you be careful heading back to Hogsmeade.
I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back.
Dobře, máme vrátit krabičku Sironě. Nebudu teda načínat novej quest, by to nemělo smysl. Dostat se přes to jeskyního trola nebyl snadný úkol, ale krabičku s dopisy se mi podařilo získat, nyní je mohu vrátit Sironě.
Can't thank you enough for helping to save the village from those trolls.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
Bys měla smůlu, protože bychom vyhráli my, že jo, z Nebelvíru.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Přítel ve skutku je hotový. Co ty seš zač? Clementine Villarciová, jo. Ještě jsem tam měl nějaký jinačí nový úkol. Zadání Madame Kogavy. Procvičování létání poblíž věže 0/5 a cvič se v létání poblíž věže Cambridge a Spires. Aha. Zajímavé. To bych mohl, teoreticky. To bych teoreticky mohl, takže mapa světa. Úkoly spíš. Dáme si to lítání.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Sakryš, tady je balónků.
There we go.
Tak, to bychom měli. Tak jsem nějaký balonky viděl tamhle vzadu. Jsem prolítával. Kde to bylo? Tady. Raz, dva, tři, čtyři, 5. Tak, pak se máme procvičovat poblíž Cambridge. To je docela štreka. Ale tady už jich pár vidím, OK. A je to. V tom případě se vrátíme k Madame Kogavě. Aspoň doufám, že se tam mám vrátit. Je to tak. Použijeme fast travel, protože je to prostě fast.
Welcome back. Have you finished?
Reporting back, Professor. Assignment's all finished.
Well done. Shows good discipline. Wisdom is a golden snitch, as they say. And you're proving a skilled seeker in that regard. Let us practice our restore momentum. A charm, incidentally, created to stop quaffles from plummeting straight to the ground during a Quidditch match. Precise, deliberate movements.
Tak, Arresto Momentum. Kde pak tě máme?
Very good. I recommend.
Tak jsou asi slepej. Měla by taková ruka nahoru.
Your new spell as much as possible. Perhaps before you leave here.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Jo, ježíš, tady je. OK.
Arresto Momentum.
That's it.
Incendio.
Tak, tohle bychom nějak měli zhruba. To znamená, že můžeme vyměnit spely a zmizet odtud. Úplně v klídečku a na pohodičku. Potom tady máme zase nějakou dobrutku se spelama. Vypěstuj a sklid žabník a získej všechny 3 bojové rostliny a použij je v boji. To znamená, že vlezeme do komnaty nejvyšší potřeby. Takže slézovec, slézovec a slézovec. Tady máme jednu mandragorku. Jedovatka, žabník, svrklofík nějaký a zubatý zelí. Vypěstuje sklid žabník máme, všechny 3 bojové rostliny jsem dostal a teď je prostě jenom současně musíme na někoho prostě lísknout. Takže, mapa světa. A v kterým kempu jsem třeba ještě někde nebyl. Nějaký hezký tábor nějakých opičáků. Třeba tady malý tábor. Pošleme to sem. Vyliskáme je tam a jdeme dál.
Hello? How nice of you to stop by.
Takže 1,
Was that your best?
2,
Oh, that was meant for... Protego! Easily done. Pay for that hideous... Pity, Leviosa, Accio, Incendio.
tak, o tábor je postaráno.
Revelio.
Revelio. Tady pár moonstonama určitě pohrdat nebudu. Ty jsou důležitý. A teď je potřeba se zase vrátit k profesorce Garlickový. K česnečce. Aby mě naučila další spelík.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Perhaps a hybrid. Bouncing tentacular.
I've finished the activities you assigned me, Professor Garlick.
Wonderful. I hope you gained a greater appreciation for the flora in our lives. I am forever enraptured by it. Just yesterday, I spent hours pruning my self-fertilizing shrubs and flutterby bushes. Didn't realize how long I'd been at it until the sun began to set. Well, if there's one thing I love to see more than my plants thriving, it's one of my students doing the same. Now, ready to learn Flipendo? Chin up, keep a light grip, and it's all in the wrist. Let's see you give it a go.
You will want to focus with this spell. Nothing as mortifying as knocking back a colleague when all you wanted to do was move a few pots.
Wonderfully done. If you'd like to practice...
Flipendo.
Levioso, Accio. Incendio.
Se nám určitě hodit bude. Akorát já ho asi moc úplně nevyužiju. Uvidíme. Přemýšlím, co bych si dal tady. Do té čtvrté řady. Zatím asi úplně řešit nebudu. Takže. Ve stínu pracovny sejdeme se se Sebastianem před zmiozilskou společenskou místností. Odměna Crucio. Cruciatus a ztracené dítě. Setkej se s Naty v dolním Hogsfieldu. Dobře, to jsou takový, řekněme, další doplňkový úkoly. Nicméně pro dnešní díl to bude všecko, dámy a pánové. Tímto se s vámi loučíme u dalšího pokračování Hogwarts Legacy. Se budu těšit. Čau.